Water, oozing out of the spongy peat bogs, trickling into mountain tarns, babbling, giggling, overflowing, forming eddies and gills, filling the becks, nourishing the valley, carving out the land, tumbling in waterfalls over boulders to surge into the lake.
Well, no one set fire to their lantern. Drowned, sunk or capsized. That's what I call the result.
You promised me a romantic night on the lake surrounded by candlelight. I didn't expect a 9-force gale and an audience of thousands.
You better say the physical abuse for dry land.
Oh, you'd think this weather would have put people off.
It's just a bit of drizzle.
It's blowing a hoolie. My stomach's starting to feel a bit wobbly.
I have this effect on women.
You make them sick?
Ha ha.
Listen to those kids. They must be soaked to the bone.
That's all part of the fun.
You wouldn't be saying that if they were ours.
I would. But when we have children, they'll love all this. I used to get so excited I'd have my lantern ready by June. We made some top lanterns for candle night, me and Dad.
Should we leave those last for you on the water? No one seems to be waiting to claim them, and they look so pretty.
It's like they're following us. No, when I was a kid, I thought they all ended up in India.
India?
I saw something on telly once about the Ganges. There are all these little lights on the water.
I bet it's beautiful, India. I'd love to go. What are you doing?
Oh, putting the anchor down.
What for?
So we can go for a swim in the Ganges.
Now? In this weather? Are you mad?
Come on.
Somebody might see.
You're right. The band had brought their binoculars. And look, there's the parish council passing round infrared glasses.
It's freezing!
September, Sally, come on. Katie used to make us strip off and swim across here every year on her birthday, and that was October.
Well, Katie didn't have a bum like mine.
Oh. You're gorgeous.
Nice boxers.
You
sure you want to go in there?
Yep. Come on, pretend you're in India. On second thought.
You're daft, you know. There's big tight down there that'll have your bits off.
Really? Want to come in and protect them?
No! You slide! God, I'm soaked!
You might as well jump in then.
Come back, you idiot!
I have to keep moving to keep warm.
I'm pulling up the anchor. Get out of there before you freeze to death. It's stuck! Rob! The anchor's stuck!
Well, it's probably caught on something. I'll have a look.
Rob!
The anchor's caught on a load of old twine. Here, pass us the knife.
Be careful!
Try it now.
That's better. Coming! You're freezing. Put some clothes on.
All right. You start the engine. Let's get home.
Rob, what's that over there?
Here, give us a torch. Oh.
That's it?
Oh, no. No, don't look.
It's about your dad, Katie.
Dad? Is he ill?
I don't know how to put this. A body's been dragged up out of the lake.
Not Dad?
No. Sorry, no. Your dad's fine.
Well, what then? What?
Some people are saying it could be your mother.
My mother?
They've taken your dad in for questioning.
My mother's dead and buried, Rob. This is ridiculous.
Your dad's at the station now.
I'll sort out a flight. Oak, hawthorn and mountain ash, a blush of growth. Lime bracken fronds thrusting skywards. The sun lighting the fellside. A stained glass window. The lake warming. Coils of mist rising to hang like rags over the reed beds. The valley dozing. Sanctuary. A long-limbed farmer leaning on a dry stone wall, the hills wrapped around him. Sheep grazing on the fells, plump with lambs, their rugged grey and mauve coats absorbing the sunshine. Herdwicks, native to the Lake District, he told me. They call them Heft sheep. Wherever they're born, they stay. If they stray, they'll always return to their heft.
Katie? Oh, Sally. I almost didn't recognise you. You're so... Wow! You look like someone out of a magazine, and your hair, it's blonde, yeah. Where's Rob? He's at your dad's. Something to do with the computer. A new programme for his beef what's-its. He thought it would take his mind off this police business. Car's over here. Yeah, that sounds like Rob. Still playing with the latest gadgets. If in doubt, retreat to cyberspace. Well, it is his job now. He's good at it. Heard you two have seen a bit of each other. Who else have you pulled since I've been gone? Listen, I'm so sorry, you know, about your dad. Well, it's just red tape. I'm here now, he can get back to the farm. Bet this body thing's giving him something to talk about in the pub. Oh, it's been chaos. We've had journalists knocking at all hours. It's like one of those detective dramas off the telly. Not for some poor soul. No. Oh, I wonder how long that body's been down there. Must be upsetting, all this stuff about your mum. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with my mother. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I suppose they could just see the grave, couldn't they? Probably. She's buried in London. What is this, Tosh? Rob got it for me. Romantic classics. We're looking for our song. You know, our special song. Right. You don't look for a song, Sal, you know. Not that kind of song. Rob didn't want to tell you. Not until this business with your dad was settled. But... Congratulations. It's a beautiful ring. It's his grandmother's engagement ring. I wondered if you remembered it. I know it's not very fashionable, but I love it. He said he'd never have any use for it. People change.
Click there and enter the details. Just pick any cow for now.
Oh, my fingers are too big for the keys.
BCMS number. Date served. Breed of bull.
In here!
Get down now, get down. Mind a good suit.
Don't let that dog in here. Katie, my lass, come here. Oh. Let's have a look at you.
Oh, Dad, it's so good to be back.
Hiya, Katie.
Oh, typical. Fly halfway around the world and you're glued to a computer screen.
You look different.
I'll just put the kettle on. We can't stop, though. We've got to be at my mum's to go through the guest list.
She told you about the wedding.
Yeah, she did.
She's going to make an honest man of me.
I've left the casserole in the oven, Thomas. You just need to give it half an hour.
We'll maybe see you tomorrow morning, Katie.
We can't, Rob. We're going with Mum to meet the caterer.
All right. Well remembered. Bye, then.
Thanks for your help, both of you.
Bye.
It's good to see you, love. I've still not got round to fixing it.
Oh, Dad, it is so good to be home. I must have been mad to leave.
You wanted to show us all that you don't fall off the edge of the world when you leave the valley.
Oh, did I say that?
Well, you were young, and you had itchy feet. Always something new. Rob's been helping out. Have you seen? Look, you put in each cow's details here. Now, this is heifer D4.
Do the police want to speak to you again?
After going tomorrow.
Why?
Look, it gives you a... Oh, that's wrong.
Well, have you shown them the death certificate?
Oh, I'm getting in a right pickle here. What's this?
Dad, are you listening to me?
Look, Pet, I'm glad to see you, and I know you want to help, but there's naught for you to do. They'll identify the body in a few days and everybody will forget about it. Now, trust me.
He was solid and steadfast like Cumbrian rock, yet fleet as the beckwater that moulded the valley. I began to understand the ever-changing colours of the land, its character and rhythm, how lives were governed by the weather as it cut across the lake and up the valley. Each day brought its own pace for us to work to, each season a different mood. Oh, but the rain could be relentless. Streams turned into torrents, thundering down the gills, agitating the lake, week in, week out. The constant noise became a soundtrack to life at lambing time. Jackets dripped, gutters clattered, and where Thomas was strong, I stumbled, slid, fell. Weak, inept.
Two, three, yes! Hiya! Oh, I saw you.
Oh, damn.
Sorry? I wanted a bit of fresh air. I think I'm still jet-lagged. What are you doing here so early? Oh, I've just finished my shift. I'm on my way to my mum's. Seating plans for the wedding. God, I'm gasping for a fag. You? Does your mum know you smoke? You're not a prefect now, Katie Muncaster? Oh, what a night. Difficult labour. Twins. It was touch and go for one of them at one point. What do you do? I'm a midwife. I've given these up. I'd only started again with all the stress. Stress? It's hard enough planning a wedding, but with all this going on, I mean all this hazard tape, the police cars, the cameras, it looks awful. It's going to ruin the photos. How very inconvenient for you. Oh, I didn't mean... Oh, look, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. That's where the divers brought her out. John at the police says they can't identify her because of what was done to her body before it was done. Well, John at the police should learn to shut it. They'll have an ID soon anyway. People are talking, Katie. Number one rule of village life, Sally. You shouldn't always believe what you hear. People are saying your mum was gone a long time before your dad told anyone she was dead. People? What people?
Okay, I'm coming. All right. Come in. What's going on?
What have you been saying?
What are you on about?
You and that fiancé of yours. According to her, you've got me dad named as shamed a murderer.
Keep your voice down there. You'll wake the old village. I'm sorry about the mess. Here, let me move some of the... Here, sit down. I'll just go and get some tea.
Never mind about that. What have you been saying?
Me? It's a village, Katie. People talk. Ignore it.
But you, Rob. You, of all people. They're saying that's my mother down there. They're suspecting me dad and you're just worried about your stupid wedding photographs.
What? I thought you knew me better than that.
Well, you must have been talking to Sal, otherwise why would she have said
Of course I've been talking to Sal. We're engaged. But sometimes I don't think you understand. My life didn't stop the minute you left here.
You're right. I'm sorry that my family's causing you such a nuisance.
Katie!
Let it go.
Look, you need to sort this out with your dads, Katie! It's between the two of you!
My bones ached for warmth. I longed to have the sun dry my skin, but Thomas wouldn't leave the farm. He always had work to do. So I went alone, just for a few weeks that first time. By autumn, I knew I must be pregnant. We worked together in silence. The rain slashed at the field walls, flushing out the fill between stones. Thomas grafted, forever rebuilding, strengthening the boundaries, his calloused hands carefully replacing one stone on top of another as the wind blew and rain fell harder than ever. As the winter bit and I grew heavy with you, Thomas wrestled with wet gate chains, angled his way between the shoving sodden flock, sack of fodder on his shoulder, counting his precious Herdwicks, head bowed to the weather, back turned to me. Summer gave you life, but the water was still taking mine, washing through the valley, draining down to the lake. Always the lake, the brooding presence, warm at the surface, but deep down cold enough to sicken you, cold enough to preserve forever the bodies of the drowned.
Katie!
Come in.
Was that Tony Richardson's lad?
He wanted to know if I was going to the darts match at the police tonight.
Well, you should go.
Oh, I don't know.
There's just a couple to move into the next pen. If I catch them, you do the gates. Go on, quick.
You know, I'd forgotten how wonderful the auction mart is.
Wonderful. Sheep, muck and sawdust. Get that gate for us, will you? Now, careful, he's a wild one. Come on, wake up, Katie.
Come on, get in there, you little devil. You know, I'm out of practice.
Aye, well, there's not much call for this in New York.
Do you remember how we used to skive off school on a Thursday dinner time? Come and find you here.
Aye, I do. And the phone calls from your teacher complaining when you were late back. Gotcha! Go on now. Over the gate again, lass. There. That's better, thanks, love. You should go out tonight. It'll do you good.
But it's not that easy being the fleece right now. I thought maybe we could start on the attic, get things sorted.
We've been over this. You don't need to worry yourself about it.
Well, I am worried. I've emptied that sideboard and I can't find any of those things the police have asked for.
Wisht, Katie. I don't need folk knowing my business.
Sorry. But there's no death certificate, no passport, nothing. What are you going to say to them?
I can look after myself. There was no need for you to drop everything and come flying over. I don't want you risking your career over this nonsense. Now, come on. Let's get down to the ring. The sooner you get back home to your own life, the better.
It's not me home. I've been so miserable, Dad.
You should have said something.
I've handed in my notice. I thought if I came back, if I came home, it's all wrong.
Oh, Katie.
I thought it would always be here. But everything's so different. Rob, I thought, even the lake. We can't go anywhere without people looking at you like you're some kind of monster.
Shouldn't be long now. We're after Matty Jackson.
I remember when everyone used to stop and chat with you. When we unloaded the lambs this morning, the fellas turned away from you. They didn't help. I mean, can't you feel it?
Aye, well, won't matter in a few weeks, you'll see. Sit down, lass. That's a good price you got there.
I don't understand, Dad. You've always been... I thought everyone admired you, respected you. My father was a good man.
Was? Listen to me, Katie. Everything I've ever done has been for you. What I thought was right for you. You know, I fair dread this time of year. First the gimmer lambs sale and then the suckler calves. Separating those old creatures from their mothers.
You never said.
I try to do it fast. Get them onto the wagon and away so the mothers can't feel them or smell them anymore. And the faster I can do it, the sooner they'll recover.
Dad.
It never bothered me till you were born. It changes you having kids, you know. It's the way they look at you. Absolute trust. Like those bloody lambs.
Dad, you're scaring me.
Trust, that's all I'm asking. Trust me, Katie. And I want no more talk of sideboards and attics. Just leave it to me.
Well, that looks good.
Me or the stir-fry? Did you lay the table? This is nearly ready. You know those wedding invitations we looked at?
Which ones?
The embossed cream.
What about them?
But Mum phoned to see if we decided how many.
I said I'd sort out the invitations.
Well, the thing is, Rob, it take a while, you know, to print up. Is that for me? I've got that dress to fit into.
Forget about the dress for a minute and have a beer. You know you want to.
Oh, how I've missed you, sweet ice-cold friend.
See, now you're talking sense. Look, it was meant to be a surprise, but if you're getting grief off your mother... You know I took those photos on candle night?
The 2 lanterns on the water?
Yeah. Well, I'm getting them printed up as invites.
Oh.
Look, I've had this one made up as a template. Here. See?
That's lovely, Rob. It's beautiful and... But...
Your mum's ordered them already.
She offered to pay, so... I'm sorry.
Whose marriage is this, Sally? I mean, is it you and me doing this or your mum?
Don't say that. You don't mean that.
All I hear these days is bridesmaids' dresses, table cards, hymns, photographers. It's driving me mad. And just for the record, you can tell your mum I'm not wearing a epoxy top hat and tails. I look like a prat. And I hate that wedding list thing. I mean, why the hell do we need a best set of china? We eat pizza out of a cardboard box most nights. I'm sick of it, Sally. Sick of the old damn business.
What are you saying, Rob?
I think we should just postpone things until all this stuff with Thomas is sorted.
But everything's booked. The deposits
But the
paid.
entire village is in shock. It doesn't feel right.
No! This is about Katie, isn't it?
Katie and I are old friends. Her world has been turned upside down and all I've done is shown her the door.
Her world? What about our world?
This is a bit more important than a poxy wedding party, Sal.
I've seen the way you look at her. Where are you going? Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I don't understand, Rob. Everything was going so well and now... Oh, what's happening to us?
I don't know.
You do still want to get married? Rob?
You follow Thomas on the fells, speaking his tongue, mimicking his gait. Rain bounced off you, but for me the smell of damp lingered. It rose up from the ground, making the flagstones sweat, spreading mould through the cupboards, plaguing the garden with mildew, creeping like a disease through the old plaster walls and oak beams until it found me. Filling my body, it steeped my lungs, making me purl and wheeze. I never intended to be away long. At first it was 3 weeks, the next time a month. I would come home to find how you grow more like him, born from the earth, shaped by the elements. Each time I returned, I'd found somewhere else for us to live. A place where sheep hooves couldn't rot in sodden earth and water wouldn't leach into our lives. I pleaded for Thomas to leave the farm, but he had other ideas.
What's going on?
Can you not tell from the din? The suckler calves have gone. Give me that yard brush.
Funny time of day for a cattle wagon to come. It's getting dark.
Aye, well, they're not going to the auction. Nobody will deal with me. I'll have to sell them privately.
Oh?
Zip! Get out of the way! Well, make yourself useful, lads. Start halting down. This daft business will be the ruin of us.
Well, what do you expect?
Give my lamb's maid, bugger all.
Dad, I can't do this anymore.
I only asked her to hose the yard.
Stop it! Stop! Do you not see? What everyone thinks of...
No, Katie, you think. Come on, then. Stop beating about the bush. Say it.
Say what? I don't...
Say what you're thinking.
Don't do this.
You believe them, don't you? You believe what they say.
No, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I just want the truth.
The truth, eh? I'll give you the bloody truth.
Katie! Katie, hang on! Hey! Wait!
Just go away!
What's happened?
Let go of me!
Katie!
Please, just go away, Rob!
But I've just heard they've identified the body. It's all right. It's not your mother.
I know!
You know?
Rob, please, just go away.
Look, I can't leave you here. Look at you, you're soaked. What? Something happened to your dad?
I can't believe it.
Katie, tell me. What's happened? Well, whatever it is, we can sort this out.
Rob.
Tell me.
It's my mother. She's alive.
What? I don't understand.
She's written to me. She's alive.
Alive?
All my life I thought I'd lost her. I was grieving for this mother that had died and she wasn't dead. I hadn't lost her.
Then why?
She left me. All this time she's been alive. Living in London, going about her business. I don't know, she's probably got children, a family. Living a life like I didn't exist.
Hey, shh. It's okay. But here, put this on. I should get you inside.
Wait. Please.
Katie, I don't know.
Please. You smell just the same.
Wet fleas. Timeless.
You smell of home.
Please don't.
Do you remember the first time you ever came up to the stone circle?
The first time? Well, probably only about 7. It was
the day my mother died. The day she died.
Oh, Katie.
And then later, us together.
Of course. Look, your dad's going to be worried about you.
Truth or dare in our magic circle, don't you remember?
We've been drinking.
That night you made a promise.
You said a lot of things.
I don't want to see him. Tell him to go away.
Rob! Isn't you, lad? Have you got her?
You're all right, Thomas. She's safe. But she's upset. I'll take her back to mine.
As long as you're sure.
A letter. Your mother's letter. Can we read it at yours?
Of course.
Truth or dare, Rob? And you said always. Did you mean it?
You know I did.
You didn't need me. You clung to Thomas like ivy, though you were not his child. We agreed to say that I'd gone to London to be with my family and that I'd died there. We didn't want you growing up believing that I'd abandoned you. How stupid we were. I failed Thomas because of my infidelity and weakness, and he failed me when he stayed behind. But he will never leave. His feet are like the roots of the juniper tree, knitted tight, holding fast to the rock.
This dressing gown's enormous.
It's mine. I thought Sally's.
It's fine. I'm better now. I've dried off a bit.
It's a lot to take in.
I didn't have a clue. I thought I was at Muncaster. All my life. Part of... everything.
Does your dad know about?
But he's not really my dad. You can see it. Oh, I don't think so. Do you? When I was in New York, all I could think of was home. Wind in the trees, the crows being tossed around, and those clear winter mornings when the mist rises off the lake, and the rain. I even missed the rain.
It's all still here. We're all still here.
I went to our magic circle.
Katie, that was before. We can't go back.
I came home because I thought here I could be sure of things. People I could trust, people who wouldn't let me down, but now I don't even know who I am.
Sally! You back early?
What's she doing here?
There's been some news about the body.
She's wearing your dressing gown.
I can explain.
I might not be the cleverest person in this room, but I'm not stupid either.
Honestly, love. Katie had a letter.
From my mother. I just needed somewhere to read it. What's wrong with your own house?
Sally.
No. Don't want to hear it. I know. I've always known. Katie bloody Muncaster. Here. Take the ring. Look, Sally, take it! It was always meant for you anyway.
Sally, please.
Whatever.
Sally, come back! Sally, wait!
Caught out?
Couple of nibbles, nothing much. I've not seen her if it's Katie you're after.
No, she's up at the house. Now that she's speaking to me.
Seems strange how quickly it's all settled down again. 1 minute we're tripping over journalists, cameras flashing in our faces, strangers trying to buy us pints in the pub just to get the gossip, and then nothing. Like it never happened.
Oh, it's still going on, lad. They've just moved on, that's all. They're busy feeding on some other poor beggar's misfortune. I was hoping to have a quiet word.
Oh?
Well, the thing is, I wanted to thank you for looking out for our Katie the way you have been. I know it's, it's made things difficult for you and Sally.
It's okay, forget it.
I can't forget it, though, can I? Because I know what it's cost you. It's a mess. My mess.
You didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Listen, lad, I know you're back with your parents.
It's just for a few nights, that's all.
And I saw Sally.
Oh, aye? How was she?
Not great. She asked me when our Katie was going back to America. Seems to think there's something going on between the two of you.
It isn't like that.
Isn't it? Then why didn't you tell her that Katie wasn't going back? Now look, lad.
Nothing's going on. She needs me right now. I'm the only one she can talk to. I was there. I know how it was for her. I can't just...
I know. And I appreciate what you're doing. I just don't want it to mess things up for you and Sally.
I need some time, that's all. I'd be all right if people would stop going on about this wedding. I could get my head straight. It used to be so easy, didn't it? Mum and Dad, Nan and Grandad. Just find a nice girl from the village and settle down. Job, house, kids, sorted.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Heft. Like bloody sheep.
It just means they belong here, belong to each other.
But what if I'm not Heft, eh? What if I don't want to be tied down like that? Stuck for the rest of my life dreaming about all the places I've never been?
You want to see the world? Well, what's stopping you?
I can't. Sally's got her heart set on that wedding.
She's got her heart set on you, I know that much.
You know, I look at my mum and dad, and I see Sally and me in 30 years' time. I don't know, it's predictable, it's safe. I thought it was what I wanted, but then Katie appears and...
Aye, Katie.
We go back a long way, Katie and me. I didn't want to let her down. Not after everything she's been through, but now I've ended up hurting Sally.
Look at me, Rob. I've known you since you were a lol lad and you've a heart of gold. But don't think you can wish the truth away because you can't. No matter how hard you try, you can't. And just when you least expect it, it'll come floating up to the surface. Katie, what are you doing? I thought the ball was on fire.
I'm having a clear out.
Oh, you should have said I'd have given you... What is this stuff? That's not rubbish.
Oh, come on, Dad, you can do better than that.
All our things.
How about this dress? You recognise it?
Yes.
Here, love, it belonged to your mother. She'd want you to have it now. Something to remember about you growing to it one day, sweetheart.
Stop it.
How could you stand to even touch it? To watch me wearing it? Holding it up to my face to smell it, to try and catch a memory.
I'm sorry.
How could you?
I've got to get on with those tups, or the ewes won't be lambing till summer.
Did you hate me too?
What? Why would you say something like that?
That's right. Stick your head in the sand.
Katie, stop it. I know what I did was wrong. I was wrong. But I did what I thought was right by you.
I always used to help you with the lambing.
You did. You're a grand help. Nice small hands to turn the lamb when they got stuck.
I missed it.
Rob did his best, but it wasn't the same. You were my mate, my lass and me. We made a great team.
I've read her letter. She told me everything.
She was unhappy here. She felt she didn't belong.
It wasn't just that.
I could have made it easier, but I didn't know any other life. How could I have known how hard it was for her? What else did she say?
I love this valley. The lake, fells. I always thought it was because my roots were here. Generations of Muncasters, but I don't belong, do I?
What's in the box?
It's the records.
Can I give you a hand? It was only her who listened to them. I'd come in from seeing to the cows and you'd be crying in your cot while she listened to bloody records. Chuck 'em on the fire.
She said she wasn't much of a mother. In the letter she said...
She always said I made a better mother than she did. I was the one who fed you, you know. You wouldn't take a bottle from anyone but me. We used to sit in the kitchen, in the moonlight, just the two of us, while the rest of the world was sleeping. You used to feel your little heart against mine, like it was the same beat. My lass.
You were there for me every day. Plaiting me hair with your huge hands. Peeling the cucumber because I didn't like the skin. Getting up in the night when I was sick. I don't want to leave, but...
That's what she used to say. But she went, and every time she went, I was afraid she'd not come back. And when she came back, I was afraid waiting for her to go again. I should have done this years ago.
She said that you and me, that I wasn't... You're not... Dad.
You should have lit this further away. It's bothering the sheep. Look at them running. I miss the lambs. When you see them with the sheep, you wouldn't know which are used with lambs that aren't their own, mothered on them. They can't tell. You and me, we were like that. It never mattered. Made no difference. We were a team, like I said.
Who else knows?
Oh, people might have guessed. They probably did. We didn't talk about it. You were my daughter, a Muncaster. You've always belonged here.
Dad.
Damn smoke getting in my eyes.
Leave this. Come on, I'll let you get those tubs ready.
You seen Rob?
No, not for a bit.
Oh.
Sally's mum was holding court in the post office this morning. She's not too happy about them postponing the wedding.
Sally all right?
Can't wait to get to India. I thought all she'd be interested in was working on a tan, but she's bought a backpack and loads of books. Apparently they have some sort of lantern festival on the Ganges she wants to check out. Hey, she's even persuaded Rob to go on a yoga retreat. They'll probably get married over there. Tell everyone when they get back. If they come back.
They'll come back, eventually. You all right?
I am now.
I'll miss Rob come lambing.
I'll be here.
You are made of lakeland water. You licked the lake from your lips, and foams of fresh water sank through your skin. Your veins filled with raindrops, fine particles, lighter than pollen. You breathe the fine mist that hangs across the valley on an autumn day. You belong here. Heft like the Herdwick. You will always return.